Get ready to explore the amazing journey of how your favorite drawing tools travel from the earth to your art box. Hold a crayon in your mind. Small, bright, and ready to draw. Now here's the mystery. This tiny stick may have traveled farther than you have, and it started out as raw earth. So what is a crayon made of? Most crayons are a mix of wax and color pigment, like a smooth, solid paint stick that doesn't spill. Let's chase the wax first. A lot of crayon wax is paraffin, which often starts as crude oil pulled from deep underground or under the ocean. To reach that oil, giant drills bore through rock like metal worms. We use oil for many useful things, but drilling and roads can disturb habitats, so careful planning and cleanup matter. Next are the pigments, the powders that give crayons their colors. Some pigments come from minerals mined out of rock, and others are made in chemical plants from petroleum ingredients. Mining can look like a giant scoop taking bites out of a hillside. We need minerals for colors and technology, but digging means we must protect water, control dust, and restore land when the work is done. Now picture these ingredients as travelers. Oil and minerals might come from different regions, then ride trucks and trains to ports, where container ships carry them across oceans like floating cities. At the factory, the magic begins. Wax pellets or blocks are heated until they soften and melt, like turning a solid candle into a warm, flowing river. Then precise machines measure tiny amounts of pigment and mix it in, spinning and stirring until the color becomes perfectly even. Too little pigment looks weak. Too much can make the crayon crumbly, so the recipe matters. Next come the molds, long shapes that form the crayon's body. The hot mixture is poured in, cooled down, and pushed out as smooth sticks, like a factory making dozens of identical mini sculptures every minute. This part takes energy, because heating and cooling big batches is like running a controlled volcano and then an instant winter. Engineers are working on cleaner power and more efficient machines, so making crayons can use less energy over time. Some crayons get wrapped in paper, and that paper often begins in forests where trees are grown and cut, then turned into pulp. Paper can be renewable when forests are managed well, but it still takes water and energy to process. Finally, crayons are sorted, boxed, and shipped again, sometimes by truck to a warehouse, sometimes by rail across a whole continent. By the time they reach a store shelf, they've been part of a giant, global relay race. And then, the last stop, you. When you draw, you're using earth materials that were heated, mixed, molded, and carried for thousands of miles to help you tell your story in color. So what happens next is important. Use crayons down to the tiny nub, share extras, store them so they don't break, and check if your community can reuse or recycle crayon leftovers, because every small stick represents a massive effort from people and the planet.